Morning everybody, this is a rest day and you can join us. That is Geiranger fjord. This is the town of Geiranger, and today we are going to be doing some stuff around this area rather than riding, so join us, see what we get up to. Might involve the world's highest fjord lookout. Yes, so this is the town and the port of Geiranger, and there's something missing. If you look at any tourist brochures and everything else that you look at, that ford and port there is usually full of enormous cruise ships. There's none. Of course, this is August 2020, and I think they get about 150 cruise liners a year and well over 500,000 visitors. And obviously now it would usually be full. They all bring the boats in here. They use the little backwards and forwards boats, whatever they're called, load the tourists onto buses and take them up to the lookouts around here in the fjord and go up and down the fjord. There's none. I think somebody said there's been one in this year, and it came up, turned around and went back out again. It wasn't allowed to dock. So it's great for me as a tourist doing this, because there's no people. Usually this is a Sunday morning, it's about 10 AM. This place would just be jammed with tourists and buses, all going out to the lookouts. So anyway, it's a bit sad from the point of view of the tourism in the town, but it's good for me because I get the place to myself. We are going to go up to Dalsnibba, which is at 1,500 metres. I'm currently at about 30 metres here. It climbs up to 1,500 metres in about 18 kilometres, I think. And we are going to go to the lookout, which is the highest road accessible fjord lookout in the world. So it's about 20 kilometres in total from Geiranger, and the first 1,000 metres of the climb through the switchback hairpins are on public roads, and then you go to the toll gate and do the next 500 metres. Now this toll, it's 220 krona, which isn't cheap, so we set off from the toll booth, and I'm being optimistic here. We're saying we can see some bright gaps in the sky, and I'm hoping when we get to the top we'll get a good view of Geiranger. Well, here we are, we're at Dalsnibba, and as you can see, or can't see, you can't see anything. I was hoping we'd be above the clouds by the time we got here, but no, it's not. It's very wet and it's very misty, and the car park is a construction site, as you can see here. So, well, there we are. That's the way it is. But there is a shop there, so I can go and get a cup of tea, and at least we'll have a look round what we've got here. Such a shame that Geiranger's down there and the fjord, and we can't see anything. But anyway, Wilbur is at 1,500 metres. How about that? That's the highest he's ever been, I reckon. So this is the walk down towards the cafe that's there, and you can tell tourists have been here.
because they seem to make piles of stones wherever they go. It wasn't the first pile of stones we've seen on this trip, if you remember Precastolen, and we see a few more later, in fact a lot more. There's a brass plaque. You always find a brass plaque somewhere. And this little fella guarding the entrance to the construction site and cafe, which turned out to be closed.
Well, that's Dalsnibba. The construction of this is running a year behind, the lady said. So I got myself a nice sticker. It's absolutely pouring down. So I've been here, done that. I'm going to get out of here and get down to Geiranger, and we'll go and do something more interesting and less wet, hopefully. Jeez, it's raining now. Yep, it's proper wet. Poor old Wilbur. He's stuck out there in the water. We'll be leaving his rainbows everywhere he goes. He likes a rainbow.
So we headed back down to the town of Geiranger, and look, somebody must have parked a Ford there. It definitely wasn't us, honest. So we'll have a quick look around the town. As you can see, I mean, this is a Sunday, mid-morning on a Sunday in August. The place is deserted. But this is one of the main kind of tourist shopping areas as such. There's a chocolate shop. I think we might find our way into there later. That looks delicious. And then there's these little boutiques in these traditional, I guess they used to be boat huts, because they look out straight onto the fjord. And you can buy fancy clothing and overpriced tourist tat and all that kind of stuff. And here we have a Massey Ferguson, and they seem to be abandoned all over Norway. Who'd have thought that you'd find a Triumph engine here in Geiranger? Fancy that, and gold too. It's cup of soup for lunch today with some fruit and some yoghurt. That'll keep us going, and I thought, what do you do on an afternoon that's this wet? I've booked myself at 3 o'clock onto a rib tour because I thought, well, I'm going to get wet, I may as well get proper wet. And that'll take us all the way up the fjord and back again in 50 minutes, I think they said, and they'll show us all the bits we want to see rather than me try and work it out.
That's my little house. And there's poor old Wilbur out in the rain. Yes, I've got my hat, I've got my waterproof coat on, and I got my flip-flops because there's no point trying to stay dry, so just be wet.
So this is the check-in hut and the laundry and kitchens at Vingy Camping. That's pretty cool with the green roof.
But let's go and have a look at the waterfall, that's the main thing.
You can see here how powerful the waterfall is. That's a lot of water. And the campsite there, and it just keeps getting wet. You get these really heavy raindrops that soak everything, and then it eases off a little bit.
Well, the sky's actually brightening up a touch. It is a bit brighter, and the real heavy rain has just eased off a little bit. So I've made the decision that I'm going to walk into town. It's about 1.4 k's. It's all downhill, but that means it's all uphill on the way back. But that's okay, I won't be carrying a full belly. I think we get to walk down beside the river all the way, so I think it's going to be quite a decent walk. So it's only a mile, so 1.4k. Hello Wilbur. We'll leave him there to have a rest. He's done enough today again.
It doesn't seem to matter where you look in Norway, there's always a lot of water rushing by. Anyway, we follow this river down into town, and these are some of the old traditional houses as we're walking past. It's a very nice walk down there from the campsite down into Geiranger, and we actually follow the Waterfall Trail. And the Waterfall Trail, as you can see, this river, it just gets bigger and bigger, but it runs through the edge of the Norway Fjords Museum, which was here. The Waterfall Trail follows this boardwalk with all sorts of steps and such like as it wanders all the way down into town, down at the fjord level. So enjoy it. It's a fantastic walk if you get the chance to do it.
Well, no, an hour early for the rib, so I think it'd be rude not to go to the chocolate factory and have a hot chocolate. Sounds like a good idea. And see, watch the world go by for an hour. Delicious. Well, chocolate with a view, that's the claim. And they also said if you pop down these steps, you can see the trolls making the chocolate. So let's have a look. Oh, yep, I can see one there. That's it, the chocolate factory.
This is inside, and I can confirm it was delicious. That hot chocolate and putting chocolate into the milk, that's the way to do it. And as I went outside to go and find the rib boat, this little fellow was leaping around in the trees. The rain didn't seem to be bothering him.
Squirrel, delicious. Tastes like chicken. We're all kitted up and ready to go. I think there's about 10 of us. To do one of these for riding the bike today, actually. Wonder if they'd miss one of these suits. Got to wear the glasses because it goes so fast. He said the rain hurts your eyes.
So with that, we're loaded up on the boat and off we go. That yellow marker marks the edge of the port for Geiranger. You can see some farms and things dotted around. And as we start to get up, you can start to see waterfalls, and everywhere you look you find waterfalls. It's pretty impressive, and going on a rib meant we got really close, sometimes underneath the waterfalls. That one on the left is called the Suitor, or the Bridal Veil, we'll talk about that later, and this on the right are the Seven Sisters. That's a 250 metre drop. It's called the Seven Sisters because it's supposed to look like the hair of 7 women. I suppose it does.
What a view, but I'm well and truly sandblasted. I think people in London pay good money to be exfoliated like that.
Not sure what this little fella's making of the waterfalls. I think he'd rather be in his bed or eating a bone.
You will also see a farm, which is now right behind us. So you can't see it right now, but as soon I will pass right by in front of it, so you will see it. It's one of the 11 farms built along the Geiranger fjord. They're all abandoned right now from full-time living, so that means there is no one here living all year round.
That's one of the abandoned farms that's used as a summer cabin now. Pretty bleak place to live, and that's the entrance to the fjord. Entrance to the fjord. Don't say the F word, not fjord.
The great thing about the rib tour versus the normal main boat tour is you can get really close to the scenery, like really close. The driver did a great job. So this is the Suitor waterfall, which is opposite the Seven Sisters, also known as the Bridal Veil. And the legend goes that the Suitor tried to flirt with the Seven Sisters, but they were having none of it. Well, that was pretty spectacular, and here we are arriving back at Geiranger. That was a good trip.
That was a pretty cool way to spend an hour. I was expecting it to be a lot rougher, but going up and down the fjord in that rib, that was okay. When it was raining, God, it stung your eyes, or it stung your face. That's why they gave us these glasses. But no, I mean, that was yeah, that was well worth it. And you can tell we're in Geiranger because it's raining again. A mile up the fjord there, it wasn't raining. So there's obviously something going on with the climate in this particular tent.
Back at the ranch, it's time to get some tools out while it's not raining much. So we'll do the primary oils and the engine oil and check all sorts of bits and pieces. But when I come round to checking the rear chain, I'm not too sure about that. And you can just see it's starting to rain again.
Man, I just wanted to stop raining for an hour so I can do the maintenance on the bike. And you get 5 minutes into it and it just starts pouring down again. It's so frustrating. But anyway, it looks like riding on that dirt road has destroyed the rear chain. The links are all worn out on it. I'm not going to change it here in the pouring rain. It's grassy, it's muddy, and it's very, very wet.
Well, I'm dodging the rain, but we just managed to get everything done in time.
We've done the service, I've oiled the chain and adjusted that up, checked wheel bearings and stuff, so I think I'm going to give Wilbur a quick wash to get rid of some of this clay stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what we've been up to today. We obviously haven't been riding around too much. We went up to Dalsnibba, and that was a disappointment because of the weather, but we can't change the weather. It was also a disappointment for the fact it's just a construction site, so all we saw was diggers and clouds. But the rib journey, that was excellent. The waterfall walk down there and walking back up again, really enjoyed that. That was good to see, and walking around town, got the hot chocolate and stuff like that, well worth doing. But tomorrow, join us, because we are going to ride from Geiranger up to Alanes, and that finishes off the Trollstigen route. And once we've done that, we will be able to score that route.
So join us next time on Wilbur's Arctic adventure when we break down before we even get out of the campsite. Poor Wilbur. We ride the Eagle's Way out of Geiranger, and what an amazing road that is. The views down the fjords are fantastic. We take ferry journey number 10 of this trip. We go to Gudbrandjuve with its crazy paths and its crazy waterfalls and its crazy kettle holes. This was an amazing sight to see, the colour of the water. And we ride the Trollstigen route. Yes, that route that's on all the car programmes on telly. All that and more next time on Wilbur's Arctic Adventure.